What's up, guys, and welcome to episode 44 of the Underground Pub Show here on the Pippi K Multiverse Network. My name is Schreiber, here as always with Bobo and CJ. Gentlemen, how are we doing on this fine September evening?
Good, man. It feels great outside.
It does feel nice. Bobo, how you doing over there, buddy?
Right, I'm fine. Are you fine?
We're fine. This is fine.
The microphone's right there.
I'm still doing something.
Yeah, we're trying to do our
I'm trying to share the goddamn show.
They're doing the sharing.
You get like a 30-second, prep time to share the show.
No, there's definitely a delay. So
I'm a lot better at it than they are, so I mean.
I'm trying to get everything situated. We got hurricanes coming. Gators are losing. There's a whole bunch of nonsense happening right now.
There is a lot of nonsense happening right now. But yeah,
did you get your case of water?
What I did not, because I have a water filter.
Oh, okay.
I have actually several at the house, so I'm good to go in that department right now.
It is water crazy. I went to Winn-Dixie, like everything was sold out. Apparently, this lady I talked to at Circle K was offered $40 for 2 cases of water because they're so short right now, and everybody's panicking about Irma.
I saw that there's a picture of some lady at the Walmart or one of the Walmarts here in Pensacola that had like 3 goddamn buggies full of water. Like, I don't know if it was a fake picture or not, but
no, I can believe it, man. Like,
yeah.
Even like the sparkling water was being taken. Like,
really?
Yeah, all the sparkling water was gone.
That was me.
Hey,
yeah,
Bobo.
Was that Bobo?
What was it missing off the shelves at Publix?
But that's not Bobo preparing for a hurricane. That's just how you normally buy sparkling water, correct?
I had the best part was actually walking in there and going in there and grabbing a case of sparkling water while people are grabbing regular water. I did that the other day.
This segment sponsored by LaCroix Sparkling Water.
Yeah, there you go, LaCroix.
You could like put like a little bit of lime and lemon in LaCroix to make it even better, right?
I mean, you don't have to, but you can if that's your choice. I mean, I don't mind how people modify their LaCroix. You just have to drink LaCroix.
You just have to drink it. You just got to stay with the LaCroix.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's what you got to do and stuff.
Yeah.
LaCroix. I mean, I don't
Fair
like
enough.
it, but you mean Bobo likes it?
I have lots of it on hand.
Yeah. Apparently 3 buggies worth, correct?
My AC went out again, so I had to go buy a bunch more. But we think we fixed the problem now.
I haven't had AC in months, bro.
In your house?
In my house now, I've been AC-less.
You're a madman.
Dude, I am. It is so.
I don't know how you deal with it, dude.
It's very hard. Like, I had a window unit in my room, but we just got rid of that. So I just have like one window unit for my whole house. So it's been like camp time in my living room. But other than that, it's starting to get cold outside, hopefully. So we'll get over this. But football's here, man. I'm so excited. Everybody did their drafts, right?
Well, for the most part,
Did I do it right, or have I done it right?
Did you do your drafts like correct, or like?
I still feel weird about mine.
Did anybody fuck up and auto draft on accident or anything like that?
Yeah, I had that happen to one of my leagues. I don't know how it. My computer. I was in beef with Brady's, and their internet there was shit. And I don't know what happened, but next thing you know, I auto drafted 3 players in a row before I realized what was going on.
Who'd you get?
I thought I kept missing the. I thought I was missing it, and I was like, "There's no way I'm missing this." I realized, I don't know, after my 3 running backs, the first 3, all the receivers I got were auto-drafted.
Was anybody else auto-drafting?
No, I managed to actually draft all my teams this
I think
year.
I would have been better off.
No, I'm not talking about in that league with Bobo, because I figure somebody probably got Zeke. And,
no, wait, it's a keeper league, so Zeke was kept. But yeah, the draft didn't go well for me. I mean, my number 1 running back is a white guy, so that shows how good I'm doing.
I had the 11th pick in a 14-man keeper league, so as you can imagine, my team is just fucking nasty right now.
Mm-hmm. I got McCaffrey. Hopefully, he'll bust out for the Panthers.
Isaiah Crowell was my first running back pick. So just to show you where I'm standing.
He's not horrible.
He's not horrible,
he's
but it's not your ideal.
He's actually decent.
It's not your ideal first pick for a running back.
He's not an ideal team, but he's
he's going to get all the carries. There's nobody. I mean, Duke Johnson's there, but I don't know. I like Kaiser, man. He might open up that offense a little bit, get some like downfield passing.
He seems to be catching on over there. I mean, he looked good in preseason, but I mean, we all know how some of us on this show feel about that. So I guess we'll see. I mean,
it's important to get your momentum started early.
Fair enough.
Preseason.
Yeah. By the way, the hotline is open. Y'all make sure you call in. We've also got the live chat, which for the first time in ever, I don't see anybody on it right now. Like,
it's okay. I'll get on there.
That's really
I'll
weird.
talk to myself.
I know we're all worried about the hurricane and stuff like that, but y'all, come on.
There's the Naughty by Nature show.
Naughty by Nature is playing at Vinyl Music Hall tonight, so I mean we might be losing some viewers to that.
We draw the same crowd.
Yeah, we do. Now, however, before we get too far in, tonight we were supposed to have a guest on the show. The Big Easy Mafia crew were supposed to be with us tonight. Just a few days ago, I was informed by these guys that they weren't going to be able to do it. They were going to do it via Skype from New Orleans, but they're actually a majority of them are in Houston right now, helping with the hurricane relief out there. And I was really excited about. I mean, super classy dudes. I was really excited about having them on because I learned a lot more about them over the last week. Is that they're more than just like a group of Saints super fans that go live on Facebook from time to time. This is something they do a lot. Is they're really big into fundraising and doing a lot of work for the community, and they use this kind of like superhero-looking Saints persona to sort of help draw that. It seems to do really well.
You do
as the other
realize
platform.
that some of the super fans from teams all over the country, that's what they do for a living.
Yeah.
Like that they go to appearances and shit like that.
For all I know, that could be how these guys do make their. I mean, that was kind of one of the things I wanted to talk to him about. They're going to reschedule. They were very, very nice about it, very apologetic, which I told them, being people from New Orleans and us being people from Pensacola, we know how it goes.
I know what the truth is. They weren't going to volunteer. They heard that Naughty by Nature was playing at the Vinyl in Pensacola.
So they drove 3 hours to go see Naughty by Nature.
Exactly.
I don't
At
think
Vinyl
that's the
Music Hall.
case. Well, there's this.
And my cousin just mentioned Green Day. I'm sorry, the band that was now in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which really hurts me to say that. Green Day, they're playing at the Wharf tonight.
Why does that hurt you to say that?
Because that band is not fucking Rock and Roll Hall of Fame worthy yet.
I don't know, man.
Is Tears for Fears in
dude.
there?
Just because they're not a bad band doesn't mean they're a Hall of Fame worthy act. Like,
Dude, the numbers they put up in Dookie alone is enough to put them in the
So
Hall
what?
of Fame. What do you mean, so what?
so what? I mean, okay.
I bet
As
you're
far
one of those
as
guys that don't think T.O. should be in the Hall of Fame either, huh?
who?
T.O.
I don't know.
T.O.?
Yeah, T.O.
No, I mean,
he's not-
why would T.O. be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
You motherfucker, you knew what I was talking
I didn't.
about.
I thought you were talking about a band named Tio.
And why did
that was
and
in
Bobo's mad because you beat
In the Football Hall of Fame. No, actually, he does deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. In the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Why? Why does he deserve to be
Because he's
there?
a great wide receiver.
He has good numbers.
He has good numbers. That's
Yeah.
my point exactly.
Okay, in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, though, there's been bands that have done more for the genre of rock and roll than fucking Green Day. I mean, eventually, yeah, they should be there. But, I mean, they went around the same time that Deep Purple and Rush did. Like, Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, Pantera,
Deltones.
Dio. None of those have made the Hall of Fame yet.
Haven't yet.
I would almost put them in there before Green Day.
Yeah.
Like, I really almost would.
The Mighty Boss Tones before
Yeah.
Green Day?
No, I'm kidding.
They
about
will
that,
not
but-
be making
Or,
it
no,
into the
like-
Hall of Fame. I don't believe.
Or
Green Day paved the way for fantastic bands like Blink-182. So if anything, I can kind of say fuck those guys.
They launched
dude.
the way they put punk in the mainstream for the most part. They absolutely did. What's wrong with that?
What a lot.
No,
Anyways,
there's some
Hey,
hardcore punk
Bobo-
kids that are pissed about that. But I mean, why are you personally?
I-
Well, it was a.
I mean, okay, don't get me wrong. It's not that I absolutely hate Green Day. I was very shocked when I heard that already at this point in their career they're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. When it took bands like Santana, Deep Purple, Rush, bands that really made a giant impact on rock music. It took them decades to get there.
I understand you're a little sour that Randy's Revenge didn't get the nod this year.
No, well, I mean, we'll get to that when we get there.
Hey, Bobo.
But no, I mean, but in all honesty, that is
I
crazy.
got a
that,
question for Bobo. Bobo, who sang that Chewbacca song that was on Clerks? Do you remember that song?
No.
in Clerks?
No, yeah, the Clerks.
There was a Chewbacca song in Clerks?
Yeah. When it was like right after Jay and Silent Bob show up, and the
I remember
Chewbacca song was
the
playing.
Berserker song.
It might be the same guy, right?
No, I don't know if it's Berserker.
Would you
Suck my
like
dick,
some
berserker.
making
Yeah.
fuck bounce?
Did
Yeah,
he just say making fuck?
Yeah,
He
making
did.
fuck.
that totally happened.
The reason I brought this
that
up
was
is
the next
because
line,
Bobo loves Star Wars, and before the show, we were actually talking about the new animal that's in there, the porgs.
Did Bobo have a problem with Star Wars? I've never heard about this.
Yeah,
This is new.
No, okay, so there's these new creatures called porgs that look like little puffins, and
He's
they
super
call
excited
porglets.
that there's going to be another Death Star
yeah.
too.
Yeah, no, there's going to be a Death Star in this one, and I heard they gotta like blow it up because there's a secret like weakness to the Death Star, and they're gonna use the
Spoiler
Millennium
alert.
Falcon.
The weakness to the Death Star is that it's a fucking.
They're gonna use the Millennium Falcon, and there's Jedi's in this one, and Luke Skywalker is there doing stuff. I don't know.
Is he the last Jedi?
He's the fattest Jedi.
Is he fat now? Like, is Mark
Right,
Hamill
is
fat?
He ain't fucking spring chickening around in that outfit.
He's like 60th, or like more than that. But he is also the voice of the Joker in the animated series.
Well,
so-
then
Yeah, he did well at
He's
that.
an awesome Jedi. Then
He could
Yeah.
play that one fat Jedi that's in the X-wing saying "Stay on target, stay on target." Remember that guy? He
he's
was
not
like
Jedi, but that
ridiculous-
was Porkins.
Either way, but he was
Yeah.
ridiculously fat for a guy.
His
that,
name was Porkins.
I'm just saying, nobody in
his
that
name
shape,
wasn't really Porkins,
No,
was it?
his name was Porkins. They called him Porkins.
Nobody in that kind of shape gets to fly anything.
No, they can. I mean, they don't have a lot to choose from. It's a rebellion. They don't
Yeah,
have a lot
they're
of people
not.
signing
They're not
up.
as sticklers as we are for like things here in the United States. Fat people can't fly jets here, but they can fly in the space universe.
Yeah, like
Because I mean, fuck it. You need someone dumb enough to attack the Death Star for the 15th time. You're gonna find a flying fat man.
well, maybe the Death Star this time will work. Like it's a good concept.
What do
It
you mean
might,
by-
man.
What do you mean by work? They all
Like,
technically worked.
What? Okay, like a
You just
planet
could blow it
blowing-
up with a thimble and a piece of gum and a goddamn eggshell.
No, maybe they
that MacGyver?
maybe
Yes.
they finally fixed the fatal flaw.
What,
That-
air vents?
It's like-
No one's breathing in the Death Star now. They're just gonna walk around and hold their breath until they blow up a planet.
No, I mean,
Why blow up planets? Why take over the universe by blowing up planets?
It's a show of
When
force.
you're done and the universe is yours, guess what? You blew up all the fucking planets. There's no one to rule over. It's just you, your flying goddamn mobility base. It's dumb. I don't understand the concept of their entire universe. It's stupid.
How is it stupid? It's pretty.
It's dumb.
They
Why?
have- Because midichlorians.
First off, why do people want? Don't ever say that word again.
midichlorians is what gives the Jedi
Stop
their
it.
powers.
They already took that back as one of the dumbest things ever mentioned in the Star Wars universe was the word midichlorian.
Are they just
When I
wiping
first
out-
heard that, I think I almost left the movie theater.
You didn't.
Almost.
Almost. I stood up.
Have you ever? Okay, this is a real. Have you ever walked out of a movie?
Have I?
Yes. I
Good question. I don't think I have.
I came really, really close to the Indiana Jones Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Yeah, a lot of people did on
When,
that
when
one.
Shia LaBeouf is like swinging on the tree vines with the monkeys, I was like, "What?"
That
the?
was a horrible part. That was really a horrible part.
No, that whole.
I
that
actually
was like-
walked out of a Star Wars.
I came close.
I
man.
walked out of the remake when Greedo got a fucking shot off. That kind of pissed me off a little bit.
Well, they switched it to like because they had that big debate on who shot first, Greedo or Han, which we all know Greedo shot first.
According to Kevin Smith.
No, yeah, I mean it just makes the most sense.
Yeah.
It's just, but he has terrible aim, and Han was able to shoot
all the
him
bad
down.
guys have terrible aim, don't
That's-
they?
That's why they're bad guys.
It was like, who do you think has better aim, like the stormtroopers or soldiers for Cobra?
I love. First off, again, more nonsense of Star Wars. Like in the very first Star Wars movie, they're talking about these blasters are too accurate for stormtroop for Jawas, whatever. I'm like, who the fuck is it? It's not the fucking stormtroopers because they shoot like shit. We just saw it in the scene beforehand. They're trying to shoot through two robots, and they walked through the laser fire like they weren't fucking doing anything at all.
That's
and
true.
Next thing you know, he's like, well. These blast points are too accurate for Jawas. I'm like, oh, are you fucking kidding me right now? What do you mean they're too accurate? Have you seen these fucking stormtroopers shoot a blast off before?
Maybe they
They're
just get
shit.
nervous. They get
You know what they
nervous
need to
in
do?
battle.
The entire Star Wars universe needs to do one thing: get those two fucking sand people up on that hill that can shoot fucking pod racers doing Mach 2 from fucking 2 miles away with a rifle that's a barrel that's zipping around. Hire those two guys to take over the rebellion. They could kill the motherfuckers from 5 miles away. They'd be all dead.
It's true.
You
All
know
of
what you
them.
guys are talking about? Mm-hmm. They shot
yeah.
a pod racer doing Mach 3 with a fucking goddamn rifle. Yet fucking stormtroopers can't shoot a goddamn giant moving trash can vehicle. It's just stupid. The whole fucking concept is.
So for the 15th time, we've had a nice outrage of Bobo from about Star Wars. CJ, I think you'd love to antagonize that with them a
No,
little
I mean
bit.
I'm like I'm more of a Star Trek guy, but I can appreciate Star Wars for what it is, especially the original
As a
movies.
child, I thought it was great. As an adult, I fucking can't
It's like,
deal with
fuck it.
anymore. I just can't.
Really?
I can't deal with their concepts. It's so dumb.
But then again,
So,
you have...
but you will be there when the new movie comes out to watch
Actually,
it.
I don't know if I will.
No, you will.
No,
Yeah, I think so.
won't.
Well-
No, I'll talk you into it. How about a movie that's coming out this week, which I'm really, really excited about, is It.
Yeah, I'm... Well...
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to say I'm excited as I am just interested, I guess. I'm really, really hoping to God that this one actually lives up. Because I mean, we've talked about it a lot on this show over the last year, the reboot and, the remake and all that. And there's been a lot of miss and not a lot of hit with them over the last year. And I mean, the King Kong one was fair enough, I guess. The Alien one was okay. It had a lot of, really weird plot
Trash
holes.
ideas.
Yeah, it had a lot of plot holes.
Brain thoughts.
It had a lot of plot holes, but it wasn't the giant turd on a fucking screen that we thought it was gonna be. But
I haven't seen it.
I mean,
I think it looks good.
it does look good. Like all these
Every
movies
movie
look
looks
good. Yeah,
in 2017.
Not every
It's
movie.
the fucking concept behind the movie was just shit.
I think they got some really good child actors, like the kid from Stranger
from
Things.
Stranger
is in
Things
it.
is gonna be
And
that's
the clown
cool.
himself, Pennywise, looks pretty creepy how they updated him. I never thought it was that scary of a movie, but I always liked it. And then
I never saw it.
I don't understand how like so many people are afraid of clowns and hate clowns. Like my girl will not see it at all because she hates clowns. And
I
then we started
understand
watching.
that.
That's like the big thing in American Horror Story now. Yeah,
They seem normal to me. They're just like
They're
dudes with
clowns.
silly faces.
There was a lot of masturbating
noses.
clowns last night on American Horror Story.
yeah, I
Like,
know.
What?
And what's her name? The actress.
Sarah Paulson, I hate
Jesus
her. Man.
Christ!
Who's
I mean,
Sarah Paulson?
She's
She-
the one that cries every other scene.
in every scene
season.
in American Horror Story yesterday, she cried hysterically, honestly, Bubba, you would have gotten a kick out of this. Like the theme of American Horror Story this season, it's cult, and it's centered around Donald Trump being elected to president, and this one guy is really, really excited about it, where it looks like he's gonna make a cult out of it, and this one lady who's part of a lesbian couple that have a kid. Well, needless to say, she is not excited about it at all. In fact, the fact that Donald Trump is now president, it's brought on all these horrible phobias for her that she used to have, making her really, really and one of them is clowns. She hates clowns. She starts seeing clowns everywhere she goes, and there was a scene in the show last night where her lesbian partner.
Is that you?
Fuck no. What?
Nah,
Her lesbian partner takes her cooks her dinner, and while she walks away, she envisions another well, no, it was a clown. Yeah, it was a masturbating clown.
it was a masturbating clown.
And she flips her shit, and her partner comes back, and she hysterically just points. There was a clown right there. It was the funniest thing I've seen on TV ever in my life.
I
yeah,
understand
and there was
why
two
they
clowns
felt-
doggy styling in a grocery store, Bobo.
Yeah, that happened. That happened
What's-
too on
what's-
American Horror
what's
Story.
causing hallucinations? Like
The phobia.
drugs.
Right now, the phobia of Donald Trump being president has really awoken some shit in her head.
Yeah,
She's afraid of coral, wasn't it too? There was some coral that
she's afraid of holes.
holes. It was holes that she doesn't like. Yeah.
I don't even understand what you guys are talking
No,
about.
dude,
Never
this girl is batshit crazy. Let's just go ahead and leave it at that. She's pretty crazy. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's American Horror Story. I never really followed it very much. My girlfriend's fucking in love with Evan Peters, so I mean, somehow I end up watching bits and pieces of every season. I thought it was kind of hilarious that this season is centered around Donald Trump being elected president. What's the real American Horror Story here that we've got that fucker in as president or what? I don't know.
CJ did.
Yeah,
was-
I voted for him. Did anybody really cry though? When he won, on the show?
Well, yeah, I think a lot of people did.
No.
I think a lot of people were really upset about it.
Hillary people were definitely crying.
That's insane to me, man.
Well, I mean,
People have cried for less.
I know. Dude.
yeah.
I know.
Some people cry when they spill their coffee in the morning, bro.
You just get another cup of coffee.
But I mean, sometimes you don't have time for that, dude. And that fucks your whole morning up.
There's
You're
a Starbucks on the way to every person's work.
yeah, but you might be running 5 minutes late for work already, bro.
Starbucks is really quick.
No, they're not.
Then you get Starbucks for
Yeah.
everybody and say, "Oh, I'm late because I got Starbucks
You know,
for everybody."
It's true. You could be late if you bring food, and
There is-
no
that-
one,
that
no
is
one
true.
gets mad at that guy.
No, he usually gets a pass.
Absolutely.
I don't understand, but every time we do the show here now,
Your phone sucks.
yeah, the live feed just stalls. I'm looking at it right now with perfect Wi-Fi, and y'all's look great. Mime shit.
What provider do you have?
I have Verizon, so maybe I need to have a word with them.
Probably.
Probably. So yeah, and it's there. God damn it! Fuck this. I don't even want to look at it anymore.
Turn off your data,
What, my data?
or turn on your data. Just turn off the Wi-Fi and see if the data will work.
Turn
No,
on
I've
data.
been
Star Trek.
I've been doing that on and off,
Star
turning the Wi-Fi on and off. It just doesn't want to work because it's goddamn, I don't know.
Data was very effeminate, though. I think him and C-3PO were probably the most feminine robots there were.
You had to bring Star Wars up again.
No,
Like-
I wasn't trying to. I mean, they're just very similar in their character.
Okay. So, anyways, yeah, we got a good show for y'all tonight. A lot to talk about. Like I said, obviously, good job, CJ. Way to be.
I think we're done.
Way to be
That's
confident.
everything we had.
Was that everything we
already
had?
ran out of material.
Yeah.
How bad my Wi-Fi is and Star Wars. But no, yeah, like I said, the Big Easy Mafia guys are going to be on the show tonight. They're in Houston. And I know a lot of people around here have been kind of freaking out. We got a hurricane out in the
No,
I guess
it's not
it's
in the Gulf.
It's not. I wasn't gonna say the Gulf. It's crossing over Cuba, I guess, kind of as we speak right now. Hurricane
Started making
Irma.
Major differences to the NFL season.
Yeah, well, and people's lives for that matter. I mean, this is actually right now what the biggest hurricane on record is what they're saying, like, or the biggest one to come out of the Atlantic.
Well, Harvey was just like the biggest storm that hit, so this one might be worse.
They're saying it's definitely worse, and I mean, it's still kind of like up in the air where it's going. I know Pensacola kind of looks like it's going to be spared. Thank God. I was really not trying to go through that again, like I had to do with what I had to with Ivan. But it's still, it's still kind of up in the air. But I mean, it seems like no matter where it goes, Miami is just kind of up shit creek without a paddle. Like, so that
I believe Andrew was a 5 when it hit Miami.
I knew it was
it?
pretty high. I don't know if it was a
Yeah.
5 though. Was it a 5?
I'm pretty sure it was a 5. Yeah.
It fucking destroyed that place.
we're
I mean, when you start to get up to like 185 miles sustained, that's pretty much like a 500-mile wide tornado.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's essentially what we're looking at. So, I mean, hopefully, I've got a lot of friends that live in the Gainesville, Tampa, and Jacksonville area. So I'm hoping those guys are
Since
taking
I've
the
been-
necessary precautions.
Since I've been old enough to like actually track storms and pay attention, I don't think I've ever seen anything with the tight compact circulation that this thing has.
Yeah.
I mean, the eye's so well deformed that for hours it's just
The-
a perfect circle.
It,
you know what I mean?
it looks like the overhead of an arena almost, like the Superdome or some shit like that. Like I actually heard somebody on the Weather Channel refer to it in those words. Like it's
As the Superdome.
yeah, it's crazy. It's really so yeah. I mean, I'm as much as I am happy that it's not or probably not coming our way. I guess I should knock on wood when I
It's
say
not
that.
coming over here.
Yeah, it does-
unless it somehow breaks apart and parts of us. Well, we might get some sort of storm action. But
Yeah.
we're not going to get
Because
anything
of the size of it, we might get
what
like a
other
sm-
people are about to get. We're not getting anything like
yeah,
that.
exactly.
We
But
would've
but we all it's been quite some time since Ivan happened. I mean I know I lived in Gulf Breeze when Ivan happened. I don't know about you guys, but I mean, Bobo, did you have any cool happenings during?
Not really.
during
It was
that
all
storm?
pretty standard stuff. Our walls shook. Then everything was destroyed. And we went out and started cleaning shit up and helping people clean other shit up and drive around town and look at all the destruction. Then go pick up MREs and grab water from the Bud Light people, or Budweiser and Bud Light. It was like quartz, the Bud Light on it, but it was water in the quartz. Did you get those?
That's pretty
You get
nice.
any of those? They were pretty cool. Yeah.
My Ivan experience was pretty fucking miserable, man. I lived in Gulf Breeze with my parents, and we weren't very far away from the water. We were less than a mile away from it, and because I don't know if you remember, but like Ivan was like, it was like up in the air on where it was gonna go for the longest time, and then at the last minute, it kind of made a beeline towards us, and we stayed in a hotel. Me, my mom, and dad. I was a senior in high school when this storm hit, and me, my mom, and dad, we went and stayed at a hotel on Highway 29, which would have been fine. And with our luck, in the middle of the night, I woke up. Like I fell asleep with my headphones on, and I happened to wake up in my bed, and I took my headphones off, and it sounded like a goddamn freight train was going on outside. And it was a fucking tornado. A tornado slammed into the side of the hotel we stayed at, and we had to go down into this storm cellar that was on the bottom floor of this hotel with a whole bunch of other people, and we just had to ride it out there. It was probably one of the most miserable things I ever did.
Yeah.
Because that storm, excuse me, storm surge started to come in. So there's a little bit of water down there with a bunch of old people and a bunch of old rednecks and a lot of black people. So you can imagine how well these people were all getting along in a time of crisis. So it was oh god, it was annoying as crap. And then when it was
the old landmark.
when it was all over with, obviously they told us we had to leave this hotel immediately. So we tried to get to my cousin's house. That lasted all of like a day because we couldn't go back to Golf Breeze because it was off limits. Where my mother's cousin was living at, they already had a 4-year-old child there and a woman with Alzheimer's there. So it was just, it was a stressful situation already. And we come there not knowing where to go. It just got even worse. Then we drove all the way to Gulf Shores, Alabama, where my family lived, or my mother's family lived at. Stayed there for 2 days until we finally were able to go back to Gulf Breeze and discover a tree through our roof and 4 feet of water in the house. It was not fun. So I was really kind of, ever since then, hurricanes haven't been very fun to me. And I was really, really hoping this wasn't going to come our way. But at the same time, I do feel for, everybody that's going on the eastern side of Florida or whatever. Like,
we had a gas stove at my house, and the keys to Jerry's Cajun Cafe and restaurant.
Nice.
And the freezers went out, so we just got all the coolers full of ice. And I had steak and eggs. I ate steak and eggs, breakfast, lunch, and dinner for about a week and a half until the power gone. That's all. New York strips So honestly, my thought Ivan really isn't that bad. And then of course,
sounds
all the
pretty
kegs were getting warm, so we took all the kegs. Of course, what are you gonna do? You get kegs.
Yeah.
And you got all the ice from the ice cooler, and then you put the kegs in the bathroom. So people come over, it's like just drink it till it's hot, dude.
it seems like I hear that from a lot of people I know. They're like, "Oh, I haven't really been that bad for me." Like, man, fuck you. Like,
Yeah,
it was so bad
It was
for
a
me.
nonstop party. It was just food and beer and just hanging out.
Well, you were like partying, getting drunk. I was like literally like living in filth for weeks.
Oh, I'm sorry. We were getting pretty hammered.
Dude, even that.
Well, I mean, dude. If smoke them if you got them,
Fish,
Like,
and then we bring the
Right.
fish to the house and I cook it for them, and then we have like a fish party.
I mean, smoke them if you got them, dude. That does sound
We
awesome.
didn't smoke anything, but I would have though if I had a smoker.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? But
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that night,
I want to smoke.
me and my boy DJ, I mean, we got tore up, dude. We pretty much stayed outside for most of it. You know what I mean? The wind was so strong that the rain was coming in sideways, so you could like stand behind anything and not get wet. You know what I mean? It was like really, really crazy. And we were when it was about at the peak of it, like the winds were starting to switch directions or whatever, and you could tell there was tornadoes, but the wind shear was so strong that they weren't. The tornadoes wouldn't touch down. They were basically just going over the top of shit.
yeah,
And we were watching the top of like 100-foot pine trees just snap. You know what I'm saying? And you couldn't see a tornado or anything, but you knew that's what it was because just all of a sudden, out of nowhere, just like a line of fucking trees would just start snapping. And
when me and my mom and dad were at that hotel we stayed at where we rode the hurricane out at, when after that tornado hit and we had to go down to that storm cellar, which I mean it was basically like on the first floor of the hotel or whatever, just like a room where people could stay at. All you could hear for the longest time was just shit slamming into the hotel room. It was really creepy. It was like a scene out of a movie, like, because I mean it was like cars, trees, things like that. Like you could hear like glass shattering and all this stuff. Like there was like a legitimate period of time I remember sitting there thinking like, am I gonna die in here? Like it was really creepy because I mean it sounds stupid to say at the time, but I remember thinking like, if one big tornado runs into this hotel, I'm gonna die in this motherfucker. Like it was a pretty surreal scenario. So I mean if you're out there watching, if you got any good hurricane stories for us, call the hotline. CJ, what's the hotline at?
It's right here. 850-907-7686. Yeah, hurricane stories.
Yeah, I mean, we'd love to hear them.
But the way, I mean, I know a lot of our viewers watch sports. It's making a major impact on the Miami Dolphins and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh yeah,
They,
In college.
In college,
games.
all the games down there. The Miami Dolphins and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have a mutual bye week in Week 11. So they're actually canceling this game, giving them a bye week before the season, like Week 1. So they're going to have to play 16 games in a row.
And what if you make
Yeah.
the playoffs? They're going to play
yeah.
19 games in a row.
Absolutely. If and they very well could have. The Tampa Bay Bucks were
Tampa could probably have a chance. Miami, no.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they made the playoffs last year.
Yeah, but
yeah,
also-
but they have Jay Cutler now. So
Well, Jay Cutler is amazing, but the thing is, it would have to go. I mean, like seriously, if they keep winning, that's 19 weeks in a row. The only time they could possibly get a bye is if they were in first or second in the AFC or NFC, so where they'd have the wild card weekend. But I mean, that's just awful.
So yeah, it's there's about to be 16 rough weeks coming up for the Bucks and the Dolphins.
Yeah, I mean, they could have. There were talks about possibly moving into the Superdome, having it played a mutual site. I mean, the Saints are playing in Minnesota on Monday. I think that would have been better than what they're doing.
I guess the logistics of pulling that off at such short notice is kind
Yeah,
of hard. And then whatever concert or whatever might be happening on Sunday, first off, that's going to get canceled.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have to get the correct security and all the.
Yeah, I think the short amount of time they had to deal with it, and not to mention, you know, there is a business side to this too on the Dolphins and Bucks, and you know, you got season ticket holders that
Well, I mean,
may have kind of waved their finger and said, "Well, hey, wait a minute," you know.
they might have gotten like a relief on that. I mean, like I know
Might have.
Miami, they're going to lose 2 home games because I mean they already play a game.
Yeah, they got in London,
in
against
London,
the Saints.
and they lost this game. And for all the fantasy players that you know drafted their players early.
Well, because I'm sure that's what they were thinking about was fantasy
I'm saying
players.
like as a fan, this is what you're thinking about.
Yeah,
Like,
I know.
okay, so I drafted JJJ in like the second round. That's a week that I'm not going to have them, and then like it's very easy to get injuries if you're playing all these weeks in a row without having a chance to heal up.
Yeah.
You know, so
What's going to be really interesting with this storm in NFL and college football is really the aftermath of it. I mean, the storm's supposed to hit around this weekend sometime, and I mean, its current projected path is going to go right into Miami and right up the eastern coast of Florida, and right there on the eastern coast, pretty much is where Tampa and Jacksonville also play. Definitely Jacksonville; they're like right there on the water practically.
Yeah.
Tampa's a little bit more inland, but I mean, this storm
It's
is
actually the opposite side of the peninsula. They're on the Gulf side.
That peninsula is not very big, and this storm is. The storm is like twice the size of most normal looking hurricanes. So like, they're gonna get something.
The state of Florida is pretty narrow.
Yeah, like
it's across the entire state.
I'm
it comes
curious-
up. They'll have all that covered.
yeah.
I'm very curious to see what kind of shape these stadiums are gonna be in after
Yeah, I
that.
was thinking about the Tampa Stadium, man. It's kind of it's
on
outdoors.
Raymond James?
Yeah, it has a
Yeah.
lot of like stuff and things hanging out off of it and all
Things
that,
that can break off.
Yeah, exactly.
I actually had
And,
a,
Let us break-
and look
yeah.
at all these. I mean, there's a lot of small
What if you
yet.
saw the Buccaneers pirate ship sailing down the freaking what's
God,
that? What's that highway called out there?
There's Dale Mabry, and then the thing is I went to a Saints Bucks game a few years ago,
And it rained really hard.
It
Yeah.
rained really hard, and we had lightning. So the Saints kicked a field goal, went 3-0, and then everybody had to go like inside the stadium because they basically held the game off for like an hour. So everybody, like all these people, are crammed in that game in the stadium itself, trying to get relief from
It's happened
that.
a few times in Tampa.
Yeah.
Where it'll be stormed out and you'll just sit there waiting for your fantasy players to wrap it up. And did they cancel it? Didn't one time it never?
I can't remember, but
Or
I know
it played
in
the
college-
next day or some shit
In
like
college
that.
football, they go to a running clock eventually. Like they,
I remember LSU had to cancel a game not too long ago. I remember.
a few years ago.
Yeah.
Well, I was actually happy because their fans were being pieces of shit at Shaggy's. Like
That's
they're like
normal.
blaming me because the game wasn't on. I'm like, I can't control the weather. I'm not fucking Storm from the X-Men. Like, what are you yelling at me? Like, if you want oysters or beer, I'll bring it to you, but I can't make the game play on TV. And that kind of made me hate LSU, to be honest with you. And their terrible play calling and they just suck in general.
There's a lot of other colleges. These are the ones that are be really interesting to see what happens with like Florida Atlantic, Florida International, like those small colleges that still have like people that care or watch them or whatever. It's not like a small college, but
They got Lane Kiffin too at Florida Atlantic. That's the Owls.
oh, dude, they looked so unbelievably bad last week too. I'll get to that in a minute, but
Did they look worse than? I'm sorry, Bobo, but did they look worse than Florida?
yes, I'll say they looked worse than Florida. It was bad.
Did they look worse than UNLV?
Yeah, they played Howard.
And
They paid
Howard made-
$600,000 to play
Yeah,
this team to have
made
them
the
kick your
comeback.
ass.
But before we
They
get off,
got their ass kicked by an FCS.
before we get off track real fast, though, I mean, those are colleges though that their stadiums are not very big. They're not very sturdy. Like, and I mean, this storm is gonna go right up the middle of them. Like, so those are a bunch of teams and cities, for that matter, that are gonna be widely affected by this storm. So it's something that's gonna be interesting to keep an eye on. I mean, Lane Kiffin's first season at Florida Atlantic already looks like it's going to be a Category 5 disaster. Now it might really actually come down to that. So
Nice segue and pun. That was
I thought so too.
No,
But yeah,
I want to
Who
go
did
back
they
to
play
Bobo.
last week?
what's
I
that?
don't even know.
Who, Alabama or
No,
Florida
Lane
Atlantic?
Kiffin. Yeah.
I don't know. I'll find that out in a minute. But Yeah, let's go into college football last week a little bit before we get too far offhand. CJ,
Bobo,
why don't you take?
How do you not have a quarterback in Florida? I mean, like since Tebow left, they just cannot find a guy to complete a pass 10 yards down the field, man. Like you have back-to-back pick sixes, and you still. I mean, I just don't know what it is. Is it the recruiting? I mean, they got rid of Cam Newton.
I don't know if it's like really ultra conservative play calling. They definitely were missing a few players, but not so much as that the offense was just. I don't know.
Dude, I mean,
It was really confusing watching that game.
It had to be, man.
I'm not trying to rag on you, man, but it is hard to watch that team.
Oh, it's fine. I'm not a coach.
I was at the.
That's fine. You could make fun of him.
I was at Captain Fun's this past Saturday, and I made an appearance on Chad and James' show, Play Harder Radio, because that's what they're doing their show during the Alabama watch party over at Captain Fun's now. And I mean, Chad, he's a big Gators guy. And the look on his face, like when it was really funny. I was up there, and there was like easily 300-400 people at the very least in front of us, if not way more, while we're doing the show. And Chad just happens to look up while Michigan's scoring a touchdown off a really not touchdown worthy play. And it like kind of stopped Chad dead in his tracks. Like he was talking, he looked up and he just kind of paused for a minute and then just kind of recollected his thoughts, and I think he kind of passed it back over to me really quick or whatever. But yeah, he was not happy about that game, man. I wasn't either, dude. I'm sort of a closet Gator fan in college football because my dad went to school there, and I'd love to see him do something. Oh God, dude, I mean it's you just don't know what to say with like how, like you said, like quarterback. It was just like a deer in headlights the entire time.
Overthrowing easy passes.
The funny thing is, I didn't hear Bobo. Bobo didn't say anything in our group Underground Pub Show Facebook thing that we have. He didn't say anything all day. And after that fumble in the end zone for a touchdown, I simply typed, "Well, that was embarrassing," and Bobo gave me an LOL. Like he was just waiting. He was waiting for somebody to say something about that.
I didn't even know what y'all were talking about at that time. I was knee deep in drinks at that point in time.
And that was the point. I was just like Bobo knew. He just knew what the fuck I was talking about.
A big thing.
Virginia. Huh? Didn't like Will Greer? Like who's Will Greer play for now? Is it Virginia?
Virginia.
Yeah, he looked pretty. Man, I don't know.
One of the big things that happened over the first week of college football. I mean, it's not surprising, but the numbers it went in was very surprising. Was injuries. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of injuries over the first week. The one that's the most talked about was obviously in the Florida State Alabama game with Francois. I mean, that dude took a beating in that game. That last hit was. Well, yeah, we have a phone call. We're gonna go ahead and take this one right now. All right, welcome to the Underground Pub Show with Schreiber, Bobo, and CJ. Who's this?
Hey, this is Carl.
Carl, what's up, Carl? How you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you guys?
Doing well. Where are you calling from, Carl?
I'm calling from Hurricane Central.
Hey,
okay, now I know we're talking to.
Leroy, why don't you just... You can't be Leroy and Carl. Just, come on, dude. Get it together, bud.
I thought that was him at first, too, but I was like, eh.
You know, we haven't got a call from you for a while. I figured when we did, it would be epic. But this is what we get. We get just another name with the same old voice.
Ouch.
Didn't mean to hurt your feelings there, Leroy.
No, sometimes you have to hurt a man's feelings, you know what I'm saying, to give him a kick in the ass to get him
Heard
going.
that, yep.
So, do you have a take, Leroy or Carl?
Let's go, Leroy. Let's just leave it at Leroy. Leroy, what you got for us today, buddy?
I'll call you Carl.
Don't call me Carl, man. My name ain't Carl. You know it's Leroy, baby.
So, how's it going, man?
You knew it right from the start, didn't you, boys?
Well, you use the same voice, man.
Yeah, I when I first answered the call, I couldn't really tell right away, but yeah,
I said it before the white boy in the middle did.
Yeah, the white boy with the Slayer T-shirt on.
Hey, are you playing?
Now you're bringing up old shit, man.
Well,
that did happen.
Are you playing fantasy this year? Who'd you get, man?
I am. I'm playing fantasy this year. I got a line of rock stars on my squad.
All right, who's your first
Gonna
pick?
be on like Kong this year, fellas.
There you go.
So,
You want to know who I picked?
yeah, man, tell me.
All right. Let's see here. I'm logging in, man. Hold on.
No,
players,
no,
dude.
no. If you got rock stars, you should know who your fucking band members are right away, bro.
All right, we got Cam Newton.
I have him
We
on.
got Lamar Miller. We got Isaiah Crowell.
That's your guy.
Yeah, I'm not happy about that team,
Antonio
bro.
Brown.
Oh, there you
Okay,
go.
there you go, yeah.
That's awesome.
Doug Baldwin.
Eh.
Hero.
That kid gets a lot of touchdowns.
Yeah, he's also a fucking liar.
Gronkowski. Jonathan Stewart.
I like the Gronkowski one, by the way.
Vince.
That's a good line, especially if Cam
That's
Newton.
not bad. It's not bad.
Because I have Cam Newton in 3 of my 5 leagues.
Yeah, dude, you're on the Cam train this year, dude.
I have a lot of Panthers, yes.
I think the only reason CJ did is because he started to develop a reputation of like not liking black quarterbacks. So
Dude.
that's why he went for Cam Newton.
Based on that lineup, I'm gonna guess that Leroy's in like a 5-man snake draft or something. I mean, how the hell do you?
He
even pull that
probably
off?
had the 3rd pick. That's Browntown, 3rd pick. What pick did you have?
Yeah, had to be third.
Leroy?
Terrell Pryor. Tyreek Hill. Robert Kelly.
It's a real prior.
Witten.
No, actually, those last.
Matt Ryan.
Well, I don't like him. Well,
Duh.
he's good.
Let's find out who he doesn't have on his team.
Tyreek Hill is a stud, and Robert Kelly is going to get all the carries in Washington. So I like that pick too.
Turn the show down a little bit, Leroy.
I don't have the show on.
So there you go.
I don't have the show on, boys.
Good
It's
to
all
know.
right.
Hey, like that.
I like those apples. Hey, Leroy, we're gonna let you go, buddy, but I like your lineup.
Yeah, it's not bad, man.
It's actually better than
Thank you.
Schreiber's.
Yeah, Trevor's team's garbage.
Yeah, my team in the 14-man league. Yeah, the team sucks. I'm not happy about it at all.
Well, thanks a lot, Leroy. Talk to you later, bud.
Thank you, man.
All right, bud.
Baba Booey.
Baba Booey? No.
Nope, guess not.
Wait, okay, I want to go back to something. Like, where do I get this reputation of not liking black quarterbacks?
It's just easy to put that on you for some reason.
Man, he's okay. I mean,
You-
I don't look
you
at
ju-
skin
you-
color when it comes to quarterbacks.
You jump on Kaepernick constantly, blah 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 blah.
well,
but-
he's mixed.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Did I misquote you then on that one?
Yeah, and he sucks.
Okay. Anyway,
I'm wearing a Black Panther shirt. I mean, come on, we're all
see,
friends.
you feel like you need something to prove with it, dude. Like,
No.
I mean, dude, the hole's getting deeper, CJ.
I'm not digging a hole. I have Cam Newton in 3 of my 5 leagues because it's like a reverse jinx. If he sucks for my fantasy team, it means the Panthers suck. And if he's good, then it works for my fantasy team.
Anyways, moving on. Back to what we were talking about with.
So Francois got hurt.
Yeah, I was saying, how did I even segue into this? I forgot. Leroy and CJ's
calling me a
racism like messed me all up.
Why were Alabama fans beating up Florida State people at the game?
Were they?
It's several of them were.
I did not hear about
There's
this.
a father and son combo going around freaking waylaying on people. One girl got thrown in the air by some dude's dad.
Thumbed in the ear?
Threw
Really?
her in the air. And maybe even thumbed while she was up there.
Florida Atlantic is playing Wisconsin, by the way. But hold on. Now that I'm getting off that, hold on. I got to see this.
Okay.
Alabama people beating up Florida State people?
Yeah, there's video too.
What was? I mean, they're already beating them on the field. Why do they have to like throw injury to insult?
Because they're from Alabama.
Yeah, they're all upstanding citizens over there in Alabama.
Oh,
Hold on, right. Fan appears to throw woman to the ground at Alabama FSU game.
That's just one of several. Look for the father and son hit team.
It didn't.
Look
It
at the
did,
same name.
Nothing makes more compelling
Fight
television
at Florida
than 3
State.
guys looking shit up on their phones. That's epic.
fight
I'm
at,
actually talking on the chat.
I actually didn't know about this. I don't get me wrong. I don't doubt it, but
Remember a few years ago in the baseball, there was a baseball game where a father and son duo went out there and started meleeing on folks. I think it was in a Detroit Tigers game.
it seems relatively. It seems. Hold on, like.
No,
That's one Bama guy swinging at somebody, and there's fingers being pointed.
yeah.
Oh, that guy looks drunk as fuck. That guy looks drunk
That
as
is a
fuck.
stereotypical Alabama fan.
Yeah, it
right
is.
there.
I'll even go ahead and admit it on that one.
Like cookie cutter Alabama
Yeah.
fan.
That
With
is
his
that.
visor and his polo shirt with his Crocs.
People are throwing beers at him and shit.
Red face.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's funny. I don't know why that happened, but
You know?
well, I mean, because he's an Alabama fan. Like,
Yep, and there's alcohol nearby.
I like Alabama, and I don't go around swinging at
Perfect
people.
storm. Alabama wins, beer, and we're in hot Atlanta.
We like finally did y'all a favor and beat the team you can't seem to beat.
That's
Like,
all right. I mean,
It's not Bobo playing.
Yeah, I know. And I didn't burn down Atlanta last time I was there, like the North did. I'm sorry that tensions were high.
Oh, is that it?
That was in the 1800s, man. Like,
I'm just saying. I know people that
going there today.
like to remember stuff like
Some
that.
wounds
and
never
hold it,
heal.
They hold it close. They hold it close to their chests and wave flags of their loyalty to the Confederacy.
Those two guys got hurt, and it happened. Anyways, I guess we're just not going to talk about that because it doesn't matter.
okay,
Yeah.
so who's Francois' backup? I don't know if FSU. I don't
Whoever he is, he doesn't look good. I've
It's
not.
Blackman.
It's Blackman.
It's Blackman.
I think he'll hold his own. I mean, he is a true freshman, but
He's
you gotta
also
give him a
JJ
go.
from Good Times.
He's
who
right.
also
Nice.
held his own in
He's-
the show.
Dynamite.
They
He is
they
dynamite.
seem worried about it from what it sounds like, and with
Because he's a true freshman. He doesn't have the experience. I mean, yeah.
Or the
Well,
weight.
wasn't Hurts a true
Right,
freshman?
He's
a
very
little-
small.
yeah, but I mean
He needs to
he
get put on some sort of
he came
plan.
in on
Like,
week
remember,
one though,
remember when
like, with a
Trickett's
chance.
son was playing? That dude was tiny. He needed
Yeah.
some potatoes
What's
too.
that guy's name?
Yeah,
Starter?
they'll take care of him, but I don't know if he can gain weight during the season. That doesn't really happen too often, right? They usually wait till the offseason to do all that, but we'll see. I don't think he's going to be shit, or he wouldn't be on the Florida State's team, but we'll see.
And now
They don't-
that
they- go
yeah,
ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead.
They don't necessarily pick up shit quarterbacks. That's
Not
something
necessarily,
They haven't done that in a while.
Chris
I mean, they
Riddick.
have, but it's been a while.
Chris Winsky.
Chris
Winky?
Winky.
Or
wasn't
Winky, yeah.
too
Yeah,
bad.
he was okay for them. He
The
took them to
other
a
guy
title
was
game.
crap.
Chris Winsky was a friend of mine. I don't know why.
Chris
Crap
Winky.
guy.
Yeah, okay. They had
Chris Winky, but he
DJ
went to the
Manuel,
Raiders, and didn't he
they
kind
had
of flop after that though?
Ponder.
No, it
Yeah.
was before them. It was a white dude before them. He had the Florida State spinners on his car.
There's Chris Ricks.
Ricks. That's
yeah,
it.
Chris Ricks.
That man
Yeah.
was a shit human. He was my favorite. Actually, he was awesome. I loved him.
Now this dude right here from Texas A&M, like that guy got hurt, and that went on to lead to one of the biggest colossal fucks I've ever seen in college football ever. They Texas A&M had a 45-10
Oh,
lead
yeah.
in the third quarter. 44-10. You're right. That guy got hurt, and apparently it just ruined Texas A&M's offense completely. And UCLA came back and won that game.
Behind Chosen Rosen, dude. That guy's gonna be good.
He is supposed to be like the chosen one in college football behind Oklahoma
from-
State's quarterback.
The dude from USC is pretty good too.
Yeah, I'm actually going to see Oklahoma State play South Alabama this weekend behind a quarterback. Ruben.
USC has a blind long snapper. Did you guys see that?
I did
yeah,
not.
I did see that.
Yeah,
actually,
the guy's
he was a
blind.
Make-A-Wish guy. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah. So like,
Mason Rudolph. That's who I was thinking of. That
and he actually was able to do it.
yeah, he's had a perfect long snapper.
Granted, no one was running after him or anything.
Yeah.
But
You know, our new long snapper that we got from Philly was on
a
America's Got
magician.
Talent.
He's a
Yeah,
magician. He's apparently a really good magician too.
excuse
like,
me, who's what?
The
John
Saints long
Darbo's.
snapper. Yeah.
Yeah, our long snapper was on America's Got Talent. He's a magician. So
He was with the Eagles, wasn't he? Before
Yes,
that,
we traded a 7th round pick for magician long snapper.
And the guy's actually like, I at first I thought this was gonna be like stupid, but it's
I'm
actually
not making this up. This is true.
Yeah, he's a real magician.
Is
I
he
watch
going to
America's
make
Got
your old
Talent.
defense appear?
Dude, we have 8 new starters on our defense. We're gonna be good.
Yeah,
Ta-da!
defense
Can I
is
do
alright.
that whenever something fucks up in the game?
You can, yeah.
Ta-da!
Yeah.
Anytime we're watching,
Can I
the
bring a
Saints
top hat and a stuffed bunny rabbit every time something silly happens?
game,
Ta-da!
Ta-da!
I mean, hey,
Put
I'm-
some flowers in
there-
the sleeve and
there's a
pull
chance
flowers
we-
out and do ta-da!
there's a chance me and this guy are gonna go to Seville for the Saints Vikings watch party.
Ta-da!
If you want to come and do that, that would be awesome. Because it will never happen.
Yeah. Our defense is gonna shut down Sam
Y'all
Brown.
gonna put rabbits on hats.
Yeah, we are. We're gonna cut people in half
Ta-da!
and then put them back together.
Ta-da!
And then whatever. There's a lot of tricks with like calls.
Why do you have a magician long snapper?
Because
Why do you guys do that to your team? You always do something weird and strange, and for people to make fun of you about it. Your team always does that.
Okay.
The Saints can't just be normal. They have to have something silly. Something silly has to be
Is
going
it silly
on.
or is it awesome? I'm saying it's awesome that he was on America's Got Talent and he snaps.
Did he also bag groceries and got discovered while delivering beer?
No, that's Kurt
What?
Warner. Beer Man is Michael Lewis. He was the beer man.
Michael Lewis was awesome.
Yeah, he was good.
You guys
He
love
was
this stuff,
good.
Man. You guys absolutely fucking love this stuff.
Michael Lewis was not a bad player. Like, what about him made him bad?
Who said he was? I didn't say he was bad. I said he got found delivering beer.
That's
I know.
because we have better talent in our stands than we do in
Or when you have a lot of beer.
Yeah.
And there's so much beer being delivered, you're like, oh, look, that guy can run away from the Alabama fans trying to fight him, yelling, yelling at the Confederacy.
Wouldn't that be South Carolina fans? Wouldn't they be the like real Confederate ones?
Them crackers all over the South, man. It doesn't matter which state it is.
Like South Carolina, isn't that like where the and
Confederacy?
Kentucky and like aren't those like that's like Alabama doesn't really have like
The Confederacy?
we're like Confederacy really like took place hardcore back in the day. It was like South Carolina and Kentucky and shit like that.
I'm pretty sure there was Confederacy happening in Alabama, though.
It's all over the South, but I'm talking about historically, like South.
South Carolina, but I don't know. One of the Carolinas was actually the first to secede. I forget what.
Yeah,
I think
it was South Carolina.
I
Yeah,
think it was actually like Richmond, right?
If
Like,
I
Richmond,
say-
Virginia. Yeah,
or no. Fuck it, I don't know.
How did we get to this point?
If I say that there's
Bubba's waiting on it
in
for a while, dude.
Alabama, I don't
There's the
think I'm
magician.
going. I'm not going out on a limb.
Yeah, and he's our long snapper.
What's
Yeah,
he
that's
doing
him.
there? He's playing a 52 card pickup.
He's levitating the cards.
He's an Eagles fan. It looks like.
He was on the Eagles.
yeah, he
We
was on the
traded-
Eagles.
And Eagles fans were pissed.
I'm not.
They were all over their message boards being very upset that they lost the
That
match
we took their
game.
Maybe he's
magician.
not your long
Yeah.
snapper. Maybe it's just an illusion.
No, he's our long snapper. We
I see what
needed
you
one.
did there,
Long
Kenny.
snappers are good though. I mean, if you
We
get a
gotta
good
use our
one,
illusion.
they're rare.
Yeah.
And they're,
I dig it.
Ask the Giants how important a long snapper is.
that's. I mean, oh, yeah,
The Colts.
that's true.
They've
Yeah.
had some issues
Well,
with
the
it too.
Colts-
Oh, yeah,
I'm sure every team has
Raiders,
had their.
when one of the best, most consistent long snappers in the league, John Condo, that dude
Yeah.
went out and our season went to shit, man. Like, I mean, it was already a shit season, but you know, it got even worse.
It's the
It didn't
Raiders.
help. Speaking of the Colts, man, they are terrible. I feel bad I got Dante Moncrief on a team.
I've got him on my bench in the team too.
Yeah, I mean, they got Scott Tolzien playing for them. They got no luck. It's going to be an
When's
awful
Luck
year.
come back?
He might be out for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So,
That apparently that injury was just that bad. Like the months
shoulder,
ago-
right?
I know you're not a very big Luck fan though, are you, Bobo? Did
I
you
mean-
call? I mean,
Bubba doesn't really like white.
I think it. Yeah, he doesn't. But like,
that's
I mean-
racist.
I mean, I think it was like what week 2 or 3 of our actual, or the second or third episode.
I foresaw that he was going to have a shit year.
Yeah, in the
Even
second or
though
third
injury
episode, you
kinda
called him a
helped.
cunt.
Did I?
You did. You
What
said
did I
he
call
is
him
a
a
cunt. Look at the second or third episode.
Doesn't make any sense. But I mean, fair enough.
Yeah,
no,
that's,
like-
that's something you would say.
Yeah,
It's not like I had him on my team and he failed me, but I'd never had him on a team before. Actually, I had him on a team this year.
Mm-hmm.
One of my leagues, I had to get him because he was there. And I was like, oh god.
it was in the beginning of our when we first started doing the show. When we were doing the
Division breakdowns.
the
I
division
have
breakdowns.
honestly no reason to call him a
We-
cunt.
we-
If I
we-
did, then I apologize to him. But
I'm sure he's
He's,
watching the show.
You heard it here first, Indianapolis
I
Colts
do
fans.
think that I think that he definitely is. I mean, it's kind of weird. It's like there's this expectation put out of him that's like really high, and he's
Fair
coming in
enough, yeah.
around here. But to me, it feels like he's coming in around here just because it was supposed to be up there.
I mean, Well, I mean, when you're replacing Peyton Manning, you know, there's always going to be high
but it
expectations
wasn't
for
just
you.
that they kicked Peyton the fuck out.
Yeah, to get him,
They
yeah.
kick rocks.
He had a lot of hype coming out, man. Like,
Yes,
I don't think
like
he,
that one lame dude with the Detroit Harrington.
Yeah, Joey Harrington.
Good. See, that dude was up here, and he came in down there.
Yeah.
Way down there.
I'm going underneath the table when I explained to where Joey Harrington finished up at. That dude was piss poor.
Right?
Now, Luck isn't quite that bad, but his hype was that hypeful. He was up there that high.
Those first 2 years that he played at Indianapolis, I mean, he was kind of getting there. Like, I mean, he took him one of those years they made it all the way to the AFC Championship, I believe.
Yeah,
But-
he had a pretty good team around him too, right?
yeah, he did.
Yeah,
But I mean,
they
he
haven't had an offensive line. in
he
years.
managed
Yeah,
it really
the
well. But
O-line.
I've always kind of wondered that now that the injury bugs kind of bit him, I wonder if it's going to be hanging around for a little bit. With these young quarterbacks, it's hard for them to shake that. Bradford, Jesus, you know, I mean, he had a great rookie year too, and he's
But
What?
he's actually starting to get.
is he?
come
I
around.
mean, is
He's
he?
He had a
playing-
decent year last year.
Yeah, I mean, that that wasn't me
As long
like.
as he can keep that shoulder in check, I think
Yeah.
he's got the skills required to make it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Well, I mean, if you look at his numbers from his rookie year, it's one of the best of any rookie ever. Like, it was one of the best seasons you could have as a
Speaking
quarterback.
of broken rookie fragile men, what about God, I can't remember his name. RG3. He's like
He is not playing
he's a free
football this
agent
year.
right now. Oh, is he already decided he's not playing?
Him and Trent Richardson are having lunch tomorrow, actually.
Talking about
to
how
talk, to talk about what they're gonna do.
Is that real? Like in the Publix deli?
No, but I mean, like those two and everybody else from that draft that turned out to be a fluke are all hanging out.
But the RG3 actually said he's not coming back this year.
no, I mean, he's just not signed to a team right now. Like,
But he's actively still trying to be on the team.
Probably.
yeah, sure. Like
assume.
him and Johnny Manziel and Trent Richardson and all these.
Jay Man's still ain't trying to do shit. But
Yeah,
Coke.
he actually already said that he's trying. He's given up on the NFL and he's looking at the Canadian Football League now.
But then he got turned down from the Canadian Football League too.
yeah, he did. Like that.
Really?
Yeah, Manziel got turned down.
Like, did he try out and they're like, no? Or they're just like,
Canada
no.
doesn't want people like that. You know what I mean? Like you
Canada
can't even have
are
you
too
can't even
nice
have
for that.
Well, you can't even have a DUI and go to Canada. You know what I'm saying? So if there's anybody that's known for being a junkie like that, they're not going to let them in.
The Canadian Football League, they're like so nice over there. They let Blake Sims on a couple teams over there before they like kindly told him to fuck off, you know, and like go to
I mean,
Australia.
They had what's his face playing in Canada, running back, Pop Man. One of my favorite dudes. I can't remember his name.
Oh, Ricky?
Yeah.
Ricky, what was Ricky?
He went
Ricky
to
Williams,
Canada.
yeah.
Ricky Williams.
He
Yeah.
went in Canada for a little bit.
I mean,
Did well up there too.
Honestly, there's some decent talent that comes in and out of the Canadian Football League, but it's like it's a nice butt-in joke when you're a hyped player like Johnny Manziel or Blake Sims too. Where like Blake Sims was on like 4 different teams in Canada. Like they wanted him to be in the Canadian Football League because he was so quote unquote celebrated for one reason or another coming out of Alabama, and he goes to the CFL and they gave him every shot. I mean. Like I said, I mean, I think there's only 8 teams in the CFL right now.
Yeah.
And he played for half of them, like in a span of 2 years, as a walk-on, and all of them until finally they're just like, look, dude.
Some people are inept.
This,
Right.
and really, like, what's funny about the Canadian football, you actually have to be pretty fucking good quarterback to deal with that because you got a bigger field to deal with.
You got
Yes.
a bigger end zone too.
Yeah, like you've got a lot more to work with and stuff like that. I've read this before that even NFL players that it's harder than you think. I guess is.
Yeah.
And the rules are really weird too. Like I get to this stage every time around June and July when they start showing CFL on ESPN. I'll get to a point where I'll watch some of it because I get that kind of crackhead football itch, you know, and like
Yeah, you'll want let's see how long I can tolerate Canadian football.
I sometimes do. There was one time I watched an entire game of it this year because the game was actually close and like semi-entertaining.
Yeah.
But usually overall, like I'll watch like the first half and be like, all right, football, and then half I'm like, yeah, fuck this. This is.
I tried
remember-
following a season once.
I remember a couple years ago, I woke up and it was, and there was a Canadian football game on TV. Like, I fell asleep with the TV on. Dude, I was excited because it was football. I didn't give a shit what it was.
Yeah.
But as soon as he said they were lining up on the 55-yard line, I turned it off, man. Like, I couldn't handle it anymore. You know what I mean?
It's confused. The rules are really weird.
It's just,
too.
the game is just, it's just subpar, though, really, honestly.
The one thing I do think is kind of cool, but not that I'm necessarily saying the NFL should do this, but I think it's an interesting take is when you kick a field goal, it differs between where you're at when you line up. It could,
the amount of points.
yeah, it can go from 1, 2 to 3 points. So that's kind of cool, I guess. Makes you think about it a little bit
consider
more.
that, but I don't think they're. I don't know. You know how.
No, I don't
How
think.
they hate changing tradition.
So American football, who blows up this weekend? Surprise guy, like who's the big guy?
Darren
that'll break out
McFadden,
this
huge
week?
game this week.
It's the one game Zeke's
Dude,
gonna play.
he's like
Yeah, no, I'm
80
kidding.
years old now. He's
Yeah,
been
I mean,
injured 13 times.
he's good
But if
handcuff.
if McFadden went out there and ran for 100 yards, 2 touchdowns, I'd cheer for him.
It wouldn't shock me though if he does. I mean, I did mean to bring that up. It wouldn't shock me if McFadden sees a lot of play this week, and even though Zeke is playing, they're gonna want to get McFadden's legs running.
Well, if they keep taking this to the courts, Zeke is going to push away the suspension for a little bit, so he might play the next week too. So we'll see what happens.
It's just more fuck shit in the Cowboys world.
I think
That's been
Corey
going on for
Davis-
years there.
Corey Davis from the Titans, their first round pick, is going to have a big game this year.
Let's
I
be
can see
honest,
that.
Zeke's suspension is bullshit, though, man.
It is bullshit.
It is bullshit,
Complete
but I
bullshit.
mean,
And I have him in a lot of fantasy teams, so I
Roger
hope he
Goodell.
and you
Also
took him in
hates
every
black
one you
people.
could, I think. Like,
Yeah, I picked him up in the 4th round in our league.
yeah, and the O'Charlie's league, yeah.
Yeah. I was like, okay, I'll take him when people are taking defenses for some reason in the fourth round.
Minnesota plays the Saints, right?
Yeah, and the Sam Bradford's going to run into a buzzsaw in that Saints defense this year, dude. I'm telling you, Saints defense is going to turn. They're going to turn around. And
what about the Chargers tight end,
Hunter Henry? That's my boy.
I think that guy's posed to have a really good season this year too.
Kareem Hunt on Bobo's fantasy team. He's going to be a beast.
What do you mean by buzzsaw?
Like, you know how a buzzsaw works. He's going to get sawed in half by the Saints defense.
Like they're sharp?
Yeah, like we're good. We're really good. I'm telling you.
I mean, technically it doesn't look bad in preseason right now.
We looked great in preseason, and that's the momentum builder.
I think the white receiver is going to run ripsaw on you guys, and I think it's going to be a
Adam
shit show.
Thielen. He might. Him and Bradford might connect. I'm saying it's going to be like 56-7.
Homer alert.
There it is.
56-7?
Yes.
It's finally not on me for once.
Yeah.
All right, so I mean,
Monday Night Football, Saints 56, Vikings 7.
A couple of us might be at
bold statement.
A couple of us might be at Seville Quarter Monday night to watch the Saints and Vikings game. Y'all come down and hang out with us. Until then, next week, hopefully we'll still be here safe and sound after the hurricane. Everybody watching out on the East Coast, y'all please be safe. Take shelter. Do what you need to do.
I will show up. I'll come by after work.
Thank you. I was hoping it would come to that, bro. I really was.
Packers victory too.
I like the way Schreiber said everybody watching on the East Coast. Man, that warning's going unheeded, man.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Fuck off, dude. I just felt nice saying it, okay? God damn it.
If you're watching the Underground Pub Show for your weather information.
All you guys over there in China, thank y'all very much for watching.
Fucked.
All three of you.
Hey, I'm telling you guys right now, if we do get like a major storm, I'm staying right here and I'm broadcasting that shit.
Cool. I mean, let's do it.
Not.
Yeah, I'm going to be hiding.
I'm going to Jacksonville.
I think I'm going to my girlfriend's parents' house in Century.
I'll be at home.
Anyways.
I got Beatles Monopoly to keep me entertained.
Beatles Monopoly, hell yeah. Can you name all 4 Beatles?
What's the name?
Ringo, George,
Can you name
Paul,
their last names too?
No, Ringo Starr, Paul McCartney, there's George Harrison, and the other guy.
Are you really forgetting John Lennon?
I know his
The most
name.
important one?
I just thought
That's a wrap. That's a wrap on this one.
It's that one guy that hung out with the Asian girl.
You mean the one that wrote Imagine?
Tia Leone?
Yeah, exactly.
Thank y'all very much for tuning in to episode 44 tonight. We'll see y'all same time,
the
same place
Beatles.
next week. This is the
Why
Underground
do you have
Pub
an
Show.
Australian accent?
Shriver, Bobo, CJ, Kenny. We'll see y'all next week.
Good night,
Thank
Mike.
y'all.
I'm
Good night.
British.
My God.
I'm not sure if that was the best or worst episode we ever did. I think it's funny how people like forgot he had another voice Whenever he answered the phone, like I was certain it was him, but at the same time I was like, I don't want to not be able to tell you. I was all just kind of going, I'm like, it's never here. I'm not much.
Tune in every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Central Time for the Underground Pub Show, right here on the Pimpy K Multiverse Network.